Battle of the Big Horns at Odsal as the Bulls take on the Rhinos. Bradford have finished top of the pile. Now the race begins for runners-up spot. Can Leeds get the drop on Saints? They can if they win here, but no team's done that in 20 Odsal attempts. It's a supersonic end to the season. What a year it's been for these two clubs, but as you can see, Bradford can't be shifted from the top of the table, and all that means for the playoff series. Leeds can get second from the Saints. A win here will set them up with the last leg to come in a week's time. And welcome to a very special Odsal night. The Bulls are aiming to take an unbeaten home record with them into the playoff series, and they intend to do that in front of a new Super League record crowd, and it looks as though they're going to achieve that as well. At the moment, Leeds hold that record. It's a mark that the Bulls are aiming to take off them. Always special to be at Odsal on an evening like this, and here with Steve-O and me to watch the action and the fun unfold is the man, of course, who offered Leeds the key to second spot in the Super League table this year. Sean McRae, the coach of the Gateshead Thunder, whose team, of course, came up with such a wonderful win at St Helens on Monday. And as I say, the door is now open to the Leeds Rhinos to claim second spot in the table. Sean, you have been a terribly diplomatic person since you left St Helens last season, but I rather fancy that win on Monday gave you as much pleasure as anything that you've achieved in this game so far.
Yeah, we've had some good wins this year, Eddie, but I think going back to your old club and defeating them, I think is something very special, and I think that any player or coach or anyone involved in an organisation will tell you that. Of course, we beat St Helens earlier in the year up at the Thunderdome. That was a special occasion, but I think when you go back to where it all began, I suppose, and had 3 wonderful years there, and to come up with a victory that I think was against the odds, obviously it was a very special time for us, and we've certainly savoured the win all week. I just wish we could have had another 1 or 2, and maybe be in the 5, but you never know, not over yet.
Well, it isn't over yet, and the thing is that you are not mathematically out of it as we speak tonight, but you have certainly given Leeds the key to second spot. Now, I know that, shall we say that you and Graham Murray have been at odds recently, but was he first man on the telephone to you to say thank you and congratulations?
Well, no, not at this stage, but I would have expected Matty Elliott to ring. He rang last time we beat Saints, but I think he's obviously been a little preoccupied with the preparation for this. But look, you know, Graham's a professional, I'm a professional. We all want to win, and sometimes things get said and regretted afterwards. And but I just feel that tonight's game is something special. It's a real psychological warfare, I believe. You've got one team that's already in the 5, both teams in the 5. One team can't be displaced from first, but Leeds have got so much to play for. At the same time, Bradford know they must go into the playoff series with a lot of hardened football behind them and go in a confident mood. And a win over Leeds tonight and a game against St Helens next week would give them that week off, I think, with a lot of confidence. If they don't come up with good performances, then I think people will question them when they've had that week off. Leeds, on the other hand, of course, have to win to be any chance, and I think this is going to be one of the most physical games we've seen this season.
Well, Bradford have only lost 3 times this season, Steve-O, but perhaps significantly those 3 defeats have come against Wigan, St Helens and Leeds, rivals for the grand final place at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I think that Matthew Elliott is fully aware of how important, as Sean has just said, you know, the confidence factor. They'll have to go into the playoffs with as much confidence as possible. And there's only one way you can do that, and that's to be playing good, solid football. But I do have to agree with Sean. I think that this is probably going to be one of the toughest games that we've seen all year. We've had some real roughhouse affairs, haven't we? Well, I don't think anyone will go anywhere near what we will see tonight, because I think that it is so important that Matthew Elliott, in the past, Bradford have led before. Remember a couple of years ago, 97, I think, when they were the premiers, they actually had that same sort of record. In the last game, I think it was Wigan that beat them and took that, took that record away. And I think that Matthew wants to make a sort of a present to the fans. I mean, they'll turn up in their thousands tonight. 25, maybe 26,000 people will turn up here. And I think they want to watch open football, but I think they're going to get a real arm wrestle. This is going to be one of the toughest games, because Leeds need that second spot. Remember, if you get the second spot, not only do you have the second chance, like first, second and third, but you will have home games, and that is important. And Graham Murray is fully aware that anybody that comes to Headingley, they fear no one at Headingley. So it's important for two different reasons. Matthew Elliott because of the confidence, but Graham Murray is fully aware, and he will make all the players aware, that they have to win tonight if they are going to haul back and go over St Helens. So important.
Yes, a massive match. Massive, Sean, in terms of the psychological advantage that either of these teams who win tonight will take into the playoff series.
Well, I think, yeah, exactly, Eddie. I think if Leeds win tonight, then all of a sudden Sunday's game it's a pressure cooker anyway. But it makes it more of a case that St Helens have to win to be able to stay second. And I think for Bradford, they probably can afford to relax slightly in this match in terms of knowing that whatever the result, they can't be put out of first, but they don't want to do that. They want to finish well, and they know they've got two hard matches. And I think that both sides are in a different form of desperation, and both sides want to get one over the other. And I think that also is a crucial factor when it comes to the playoffs, because there's every chance these sides will meet again at some stage in the playoffs. And there's two fearsome forward packs here, big men. And I think that it's just going to be on in the early stages. I think I agree with Steve-O that we're going to see some things out there today that would make you very, very pleased you're not on the field.
Yes, we're all very happy that we're going to be sitting here and watching from afar. And what Sean was referring to there about the St Helens match at the weekend, it couldn't be much bigger anyway for them, because it's the Wigan Warriors against St Helens. Now that's big enough in itself, but it is the last ever match at Central Park. It's a full house. It's a sellout. Wigan will not want to go. The 13 players that Andy Goodway put out on Sunday will not want to be remembered as the team to lose the very last match at Central Park. But what a great boost it would be for St Helens to go there on Sunday and beat their fiercest rivals. 3:30, you'll be able to see it all here on Sky Sports 1. Don't worry if you've not got a ticket, you'll be able to enjoy it all with us. But now back to tonight, and there are plenty of links between these two famous clubs. Bradford and Leeds are the deadliest of rivals, but do you know, one of the Bradford squad shares a house with one of the Leeds squad. It's not just a friendship thing, it's more of a Jeeves and Wooster relationship. Bill Arthur now reports.
Jeeves! I say, Jeeves, where's that damn butler of mine?
Rang, sir.
Yes, I jolly well did. Now you're here, can you just get yourself off to the kitchen and get me a cup of tea?
Very well, sir. Oh! Tea, sir.
Oh yes, I'm jolly well looking forward to this, Jeeves. Thank you. I say, Jeeves, why don't you just stick to what you do best?
And what might that be, sir?
Jolly well playing Super League. young lads, they need a bit of discipline living away from home. So I've had to ground him a couple of times. He's been half an hour late coming in, but on the general, he's not too bad.
He's been teaching me the finer points of housework, you know, such as washing up and changing my bed sheets every 4 to 5 months. Yeah.
Jeeves! Jeeves, old chap!
You rang, sir?
Oh yes, Jeeves. Bit of a pickle, don't you know? Got some people from Leeds coming over on Friday evening. Rather rough bunch. Ronnie, Rhino the Ronnie and Binky McDonut, I think. Well, I'm just wondering what to give them. Any suggestions?
Well, if I may observe, sir, it may be a case of what they give you.
Yes, perhaps so. Yes, what a splendid chap you are, Jeeves.
May I suggest one more thing, sir?
Yes?
Keep your head down.
Neil Hartman and Adrian Morley, the Jeeves and Wooster of Bradford and Leeds. Good fun, both lads. Well done, and well done to Bill Arthur for the piece. I remember you, actually.
With a draft in his right.
I remember you when we
Can you
did
get it
Beauty
for
and the
fudging,
Beast.
or-
You served coffee to Maurice Lindsay at Rugby League headquarters. Do you remember?
2 lumps it was.
Tea Beast and 2 sugars.
2 sugars, yeah, 2 lumps. Yeah.
You've never been the same since, have
Should
you?
have been 20, shouldn't it?
Right, well, we have got a great match in prospect here. We've been saying all night, haven't we, that it is a record-breaking night. They always do their pre-match entertainment so well here, but they have found something new for this, the last home game of the season. Let's join Bill Arthur.
Well, in their never-ending quest for new forms of entertainment here at the Bradford Bulls, they've come up with this. It's paramotoring, and Chris Dawes is the man on the end of this contraption. What exactly is this, Chris?
Oh, so I am. This is a paramotor. It's a paraglider that gets inflated by the air as it's pushed along, and the engine pushes me along. So hopefully I'll be able to fly along like he's doing.
And you are going to take off across this cricket pitch and then fly over the stadium. Is that the idea? What sort of problems are you expecting?
Yeah, it's quite a tricky takeoff, really, because we're taking off uphill with the wind dropping down onto us in a little bit of rotor, but the wind's dropping a little bit now, so we should be able to manage it.
It's a first, though, isn't it, going into a sports stadium?
It is, because sports stadiums have got their own little problems with them, vortexes that can swirl around in them. And one of our big problems is hot air, you know, and I believe you might have a presenter in there that's full of it tonight, so if he comes out with that, I might be in trouble.
Who could he be referring to there? Well, Chris, shocks away. Bon voyage. We'll let you get off the ground. See you later.
Where's the sound? Well, Chris had to have another go at it, but he's up and he's airborne. He's across the cricket pitch next door, and he'll now sweep over the top of Steve-O's car in the car park, and then we'll descend into the Odsal Bowl, which is filled tonight with well in excess of 23,000 people, I fancy. Just look at Odsal on a night like this. It's absolutely fantastic. Any minute now we'll see Chris Dawes drop in on the pitch. Odsal looking pretty as a picture tonight, but in the meantime, let's find out now how Steve-O thinks. The man with all the hot air that Chris Dawes was worried about there as he made his descent into the stadium. Let's see how Steve-O thinks this game will be won and lost. Your tactics, Steve-O.
Well, I've picked on 2 players that are very, very important indeed, but one from the older end and one from the very young end.
Leon Price must surely be in the running for Rookie of the Year. His learning curve this season has been nothing short of superb. And barring any injuries, this youngster is destined for bigger and better things. Price's grit and determination has helped the Bulls to the top of the table. But his biggest asset is in the reading of the game and knowing when to come inside, off the touchline, to take advantage of the skills from the Paul brothers. Jinking runs like this makes it hard for any defence, yet it can confuse his own colleagues. But Price knows when to inject himself inside, a sure sign of a star in the making. And he makes full use of a bedraggled defensive line. Once through, he has speed to burn. Not many can match his pace. But Paul Sterling is no slouch either. Despite being over 30 years of age, this pocket dynamo can burst into action from seemingly impossible situations. He often gives the impression he's going to submit easily to the tackle, but a jink, a step, and he's away. Such elusive running has brought the Leeds fans to their feet many times over the years, and he's hitting top form at the right time. And like the youngster Price, knows how to take full use of the set moves, especially with the dummy runners. He senses the sliding defence gets left standing and ensures he keeps out wide. The long pass giving him the opportunity to sneak in at the corner.
Two great try scorers, but the big question is which set of forwards will lay the platform, because as we mentioned earlier, it is going to be a tough game, and whichever pack takes control, then I think, Eddie, we might see some great tries out wide.
Well, let's hope so, and let's hope we see some fantastic action in the Super League this weekend. I rather fancy we will hear on Sky Sports the other fixtures, though, in round 29. Tomorrow, the Sheffield Eagles against the Huddersfield Giants. It's a massive match for Huddersfield. They don't lose. 6 o'clock at Don Valley. Then on Sunday, Castleford against Halifax, 3:30 at Weldon Road. Sean McRae's Gateshead against Wakefield's Wildcats at the Thunderdome at 3. The Broncos take on the Sharks at the Stoop at 3:30. Salford against Warrington, 3 o'clock at the Willows. And the very last match at Central Park, the Wigan Warriors against St Helens. And they kick off there at 4 o'clock at Central Park. It's an all-ticket sellout. But we have a battle royal in prospect here. Two wonderful sides are in action in front of what I'm sure will be a record crowd, a new record for the Super League. And what a year for 17-year-old Leon Price, a man who has been scoring tries for fun on the wing for Bradford Bulls this year. He has been discovered by Matthew Elliott during 1999. He says it's a privilege to play in the side, but just now he is delighted to be celebrating the league leadership.
Personally, I found it really good to finish top. I mean, it shows something that we're being consistent throughout the season. I mean, it still don't mean we've won anything, but to finish top, it's good for us, and I'm sure we'll keep on playing well to get to that grand final.
We're just enjoying it at the moment. No, we're trying to go for the second spot. No, but we're just concentrating on this game and one game at a time.
I think it's going to be a good atmosphere. I mean, there's going to be quite a few people there. It's going to try and top the season's best attendance. So I think it'll be a great atmosphere and something that the players will thrive with.
They don't come much bigger, obviously, than Leeds and Bradford at Odsal Stadium. Obviously, we've seen a ray of light now. We think we can leapfrog St Helens into second spot because they've got some tough fixes coming up too. They've got Bradford to play and they've got Wigan to play at Central Park. So we're looking to do a number on Bradford and leapfrog St Helens.
We wanted to finish top for the obvious reasons, and now we've done it. We're fairly happy. We take a little bit of pressure from the last two games off our shoulder. Yeah, it's good to finish top.
We had the victory in the Challenge Cup, and then a few days later they smacked our bums, and then later on in the season I think we come away with the spoils, and we were very pleased with that. But it doesn't count for much in these games. It's who's the best team on the day.
It was good, to finish top, because it gives us that extra week's rest. But we still want to win, beat Leeds and Saints next two games to go in undefeated and beating two top 5 teams.
We're expecting a very tough, very physical game. Obviously Bradford are the top side and they're aiming to continue their unbeaten run at home. So we know we'll have a very hard task on our hands, and at the end of the day we're just going to prepare ourselves for a very tough encounter.
Players' view. Now then, Steve Presley is the referee tonight. He's shaking hands with the captains and the mascots of both sides. Robbie Paul is asking the Bradford Bulls little mascot to toss the coin. Iestyn Harris will do the calling, and it looks like Iestyn Harris has won the toss. Leeds with the choice of ends, and so Robbie Paul's Bradford will kick off. Well, it's quite a big night for Matthew Elliott, the Bradford Bulls coach, who enters the arena. Pre-match nerves for the coaches as well as for the players, with about 5 minutes or so to go to kick-off time. And parade of the youngsters as well, doing it so well at Odsal, as they always do. And look at the crowd that is packing in here tonight. It's bound to be a Super League record. They're going to take that with them into the playoffs. There's no doubt about that at all. Will they take a victory over the Leeds Rhinos into the playoffs with them? We shall see. Who will go home tonight with the watch as the man of the match? Because from now on in Super League, indeed throughout this season, the winner of the man of the match competition on Sky Sports has won the wristwatch. And there it is. That will be going home tonight on the wrist of one of the players. Which one? Well, the losing coaching staff will choose. But we want you also to be involved, as ever. The man of the match competition runs 0660 10 10 13. Predict who the losing coaching staff will choose, and the prize, a couple of tickets for the grand final at Old Trafford on Saturday, October the 9th. And your name will also be going forward, as usual, into the winner's draw for the VIP box at Old Trafford, the Theatre of Dreams, on the night. 0660 10 10 13. Right, let's just take a look at that crowd, and behind the crowd the Aussie result, or in front of the crowd the Aussie result. The first of the playoffs has gone to the Canterbury Bulldogs. They've beaten the Sydney City Roosters by 8 points to 12. Now that could be problems for the Sydney City Roosters, because in the morning we have Melbourne Storm against the St George Illawarra Dragons for you from Olympic Park here on Sky Sports at 10 on Saturday morning. But the important one, as far as the Roosters are concerned, is that, because if the Brisbane Broncos beat the Cronulla Sharks, then the Roosters could well be out of the playoffs. It's a complicated system in Australia this year, far more complicated than our top 5, but you'll be able to follow it every inch of the way with us here on Sky Sports. And that on Sunday is an absolutely massive match, Cronulla Sharks against the Brisbane Broncos. Well, Chris Dawes, our man in the sky, is still there. He has made it up and over the Odsal Stadium, and he'll be touching terra firma, as somebody once said, on the Super League very, very shortly. But who will be touching terra firma in terms of 2 priceless points? They don't really matter as far as Bradford is concerned. We've said that. They are top, they're home and hosed. But Sean McRae, for the Leeds Rhinos, to get over the top of St Helens and give them 2 bites at the cherry, one of which will be at home for a place at the grand final. This is a massive match.
It's a big game for them, but they've got big game players. They've played very well this year at Wembley, for example, and they've got a lot of experience out there. I have very rarely this year seen the Leeds forward pack dominated, and I think that's a major factor. And as big a pack as the Bradford side are, I think if they don't get over the top of Leeds, then I think Leeds will win this game. But I think we could get down to a lapse of concentration, one mistake, perhaps a refereeing decision that could decide this game. I think it'll be very tight all the way, but I do think that Leeds have the ability to dominate for a lot longer over the 80 minutes than most other teams do, and that's why I think they'll win this game.
We got a glimpse there of Chris Dawes on his way into the stadium, and the Bullman is doing his best to clear the ground and get everyone off the pitch so as Chris Dawes won't drop on anybody's head. But Steve-O, there he is, Chris Dawes. Steve-O, Sean made an important point there. The referees come into the situation now in terms of the playoff, and indeed this match. Now, Steve Presley last week, Wigan against Leeds at Headingley, he had a great game, didn't he? And he's been rewarded with this.
Yeah, I think that he should have got this game as well, because he certainly handled it well, and it's going to be pressure not just for the players, as Eddie's mentioned, but for not just the referee out there, but for the touch judge and, of course, the video referee. It's been quite controversial over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and there he is. He hits the old terra firma. Yes, Willie. He's a brave man indeed, but
I tell you what, I wouldn't fancy that, Steve-O.
Neither would I, but I must say that I wouldn't fancy being out when the 26 athletes start piling into each other in the opening 10-15 minutes. That will be nothing compared to what you'll see in the opening stanza. I mean, it's just really going to get into it. Leeds, of course, they've got the 2 suspended players, Morley and Farrell, back, and I think that's a great boost for them. And I think it's going to be quite cruel. I think this game is going to be the cruelest game I've seen for many, many a day. I can't wait.
It's going to be gripping, there's no doubt about that. Something else, I'd like to ask our viewers watching at home, actually, if they would like to ring on 0660 10 10 15 with their man of the match vote later on. Also, we're opening the lines for a special poll. Should Steve-O go up in a paragliding thing, and should we have him dropping into Old Trafford on grand final night? What do you think, Sean? Do you think we should let him go?
I'd rather you do it than me, Eddie. I think, yeah. I think that'll bring the crowds out for sure, won't it?
Would?
I think it would need a larger engine to get this weight up on there. But
you don't watch the vortexes, though.
Oh, once the vortex gets you, you're gone.
Yeah. You'd look well with that strapped to your back. Well, look, the crowd is waiting. and we are waiting. This could be an absolute cracker of a match, and it could be, it just could be, the grand final dress rehearsal. Look at Odsal. It's almost packed to the rafters, and we've got the Bulls and the Rhinos next. It was on the 18th of June that a Super League record crowd turned out at Headingley to see the Leeds Rhinos take on the Bradford Bulls. I rather think that tonight a new Super League record will be established here at Odsal. The Bullman thinks so. Bradford Bulls are league leaders and Leeds are going for second spot. The terraces are packed. We've had all the fun of the fair prior to this match. Now the real business begins. And in that Bradford dressing room, they know they've won all 16 league and cup ties at Odsal this year, including a game against the Leeds Rhinos, who reached Wembley in beating the Bulls in the semi-final, 23-10, won 45-16 at Headingley in June, but came a cropper here in April. Can the Bradford Bulls beat Leeds and give Saints pole position for second place? The Bulls have Withers at fullback, Vicona, McAvoy, Boyle and Price. The Paul brothers at halfback. Up front, it's McDermott, Lowes and Anderson, Doniger, Dwyer and McNamara. And on the bench, Deacon, Jowett, Peacock and Fielden. The coach is Matthew Elliott, who's led his men to the top of the table for the second time in 3 years. Now the Leeds Rhinos. Yestin Harris, the captain at fullback. Sterling, Cummins, Godden and Rivette. Powell and Sheridan. The forwards, Masella, Young, Speak, McDermott, Morley and Farrell back after suspension, Glanville loose forward. The bench occupied by 16-year-old Chev Walker, Jackson, Fleary and Hay. The coach, Graham Murray. And Yestin Harris comes out of the dressing room, trailed by Barry McDermott. And what a night for young Andy Speak. He came through an absolute baptism of fire against Wigan last week. Now he faces a huge test here at Odsal. They'll be glad to have Anthony Farrell back in their side. He is their top tackler. The 1998 Man of Steel, Yestin Harris, captain of Leeds, with their travelling army of supporters packed behind the posts on the left-hand side. Yestin Harris comes out with the Leeds Rhinos. Leeds, who now are going for second spot in Super League. For the two bites of the cherry, of course, to get to Old Trafford, just as they had last year, and the home route for Graham Murray's men. They were at Old Trafford last October. They want to be there this year, but no one wants to get there more than the Bradford Bulls. Only St Helens, in their title-winning year of 1996, went through a Super League season unblemished at home. This is the last hurdle as far as the Bulls are concerned, and this is the one they desperately want to win. Psychological points for the playoff series, because that could easily be a dress rehearsal for the grand final. Fantastic welcome at Odsal for the Bradford Bulls. They have waited and planned for this since June, when the Bulls were hammered at Headingley, and since last April, when the Bradford Bulls gained revenge for their semi-final defeat on the road to Wembley. This is chapter 3. And Steve-O, as we turn the page in 80 minutes' time, will it be Robbie Paul or will it be Yestin Harris who'll be celebrating?
Very confusing to pick out a winner. You look down the team lists and both sides are just cram-packed, aren't they? Full of internationals, some wonderful footballers out there. Rugby league football at its best, you will see tonight. It'll be tough. Steve Presley, he's been rewarded. He had a fine game last weekend. Let's hope he can continue on
The fun is over. The real business begins. McNamara kicks off. Underneath it, Anthony Farrell. He drives it out. First tackle of the match. The Bulls are hunting, and maybe that would have sailed out on the full.
Well, it looked as though Farrell maybe was making a decision to plant his left foot on the white line and take the ball. That would have been out on the full there, but that's great defence. Anderson leading the way, the old campaigner Bernard Dwyer.
Andy Speake with a scampering run. It was halted first by Robbie Paul's tackle, then by big Paul Anderson. Sheridan was the dummy half. Here is Barry McDermott. And McDermott gets to around about 38 metres away, watched by his coach Graham Murray in shirt sleeves. It's an Indian summer here at Odsal. September has burst to life, not only with glorious weather, but with this massive match in the Super League. And Matthew Elliott, he knows how important it is in terms of psychological advantage.
Well, not the best start by the little halfback Ryan Sheridan, who's been struggling to get back to top form. He kicked that ball right down the throat of the fullback Michael Withers, and that will not have helped boost his confidence. This is the man that's important, the man who's kicked the kick in, James Lowes. Will it be too strong? Yes. Good tactics.
Crossfield kick from Lowes, but just a little bit too much length on it.
Quite obvious that they have been practicing that.
Well, a cracking atmosphere at Odsal. Let's go down to pitch side and sample it with Bill.
Eddie, we've known some big nights here at Odsal, but this has to be the biggest yet in terms of atmosphere. They're hoping it's the biggest yet in terms of crowd, but the noise is frightening. The build-up before the teams came out was like something from the days of the gladiators, the real gladiators, and the contest out there, if it lives up to that, really will be something else. And the people that have come here today have come from all over the country. They're not just Bradford and Leeds fans, they're people from Brighton, from Torquay. I've seen banners of teams from Nottingham and from Scarborough as well.
Interest in this match from all over the country. Martin Masella with the drive to the 40-metre line inside the Bradford half of the field. Here's Iestyn Harris, mesmerised Wigan last week. Dabs it towards the line. Leon Price, 17 years of age. What a season this kid's had.
Well spotted by the youngster as well. It was a neat little kick from Iestyn Harris, but the build-up to that, you saw David Boyle come in with a big hit out wide. Now, Matthew Elliott, the Bulls coach, have put David Boyle forward out into the centres. Leeds, obviously, we know that they use the big fella Adrian Morley out wide, and that's why Boyle has been put out there.
Early kick in the tackle count from James Lowes, turning Harris round. The chase is important. Oh, Robbie Paul slipped. It allowed Harris to get away, and Harris makes about 15 priceless metres.
Slip there, gave the opportunity for the full-back to make valuable ground at fall, but it is a tactic, as we mentioned. Yet again, it was James Lowes, the hookers, taking control of that kicking game. They want to keep turning Leeds around. They know perhaps that Leeds have got a big pack of forwards. Try to make them tired early.
That's good hands though from this Leeds side. Sterling away from one, but he couldn't get away from David Boyle. Just outside the 40-metre zone, McDermott will take it on for the Rhinos. Offloads to Sheridan, but he disappears under the tackle from James Lowes. Speake loops the ball into the arms of Powell, and Powell with a kick downfield looking for the 40-20. Well watched by Leon Price. He saved himself from hitting the whitewash somehow.
Did so well there, good balance, and really went in hard. Well, we said it was going to be big, hard and tough, and they're not letting us down. Good work from McAvoy.
Yes, Nathan McAvoy, a few more priceless metres, almost up to halfway. They're over halfway now with Dwyer, and Bernard Dwyer makes it to Leeds territory. Jimmy Lowes is in a dummy half. They will come this way with the big man Doniger. Farrell gets to him first. McDermott was waiting for him also. Lowes once more. Here's Anderson, another heavyweight. Oh, what a run! Nearly lifted Powell out of Odsal.
They're playing it very close to the advantage line, and Lowes is controlling things yet again. It's a great kick. But good work from Powell. He got an elbow.
Brilliant.
Lowes went to him, and he's lost that ball as Powell. Penalty. But that was an elbow.
Penalty against James Lowes.
Well, he undid all the good work there, and Leeds want to get on with it. That is a magnificent kick downfield. Well, a great kick. That's his third so far from James Lowes, and he was silly enough to go in with the elbow on Powell.
Andy Speak gets the ball away to Adrian Morley. Big hit on Morley again by Paul Anderson. And also by Jeremy Doniger. Speak once more. This is Mark Glanville. He's hauled down on the halfway line. Glanville making his 50th appearance for Leeds tonight. Martin Masella, one of the many players of Headingley that not agreed a new deal yet for the year 2000. And several clubs are looking at that. Bradford are offside.
Well spotted by Presley. And a bit of back chat. Won't like that, Mr. Presley.
When I say get back the 10, you get back the 10 to me. Don't give me any crap.
Offside, and he will not hear the protest from Robbie Paul. So here is the opportunity for Iestyn Harris now.
Well, you can see Doniger, the big second rower, had taken a couple of steps right in front of the official Presley. You don't have to be Einstein to work out that he was offside. Wasn't too impressed. Doniger said that he only moved when the ball was being played. And not surprisingly, in this hotbed of the opening few minutes, Leeds are electing to calm things down, and this fella surely will kick this with ease. It's not a difficult situation for him.
Now he's already broken Bobby Goulding's Super League record of 1996. And at this moment he needs 14 goals to break Lewis Jones's club record of 166 for the season. Well, the Bradford fans doing their best to put him off. It's a test not only of Harris's kicking ability, this, but of his mettle. He's up to it. The Leeds Rhinos have the early advantage. They're ahead by 2 points to 0.
No doubt about the mettle. He is the man of steel, and Matthew Elliott, he realises that giving away silly penalties like that will just give Iestyn Harris great pleasure in slotting the ball right over the crossbar. Chances will be few and far between.
It might, at the end of the day, come down to a drop goal. And just to put you in the picture, the video referee tonight can be used for deciding whether a drop goal goes over the crossbar or not. Steve McNamara has hit the kickoff out on the full. This is a shaky start from the league leaders.
Well, not just a couple of inches, was it? It really was an almighty kick from the centre spot. Shakes his head in disbelief.
And Iestyn Harris, with those Leeds fans behind him, is going to have a kick at goal from the halfway line.
Well, these are very good tactics by the Rhinos. We saw in the opening minutes that Matthew Elliott, the ploy was kicking early in the tackle count, being controlled by James Lowes. They obviously wanted to upset the rhythm, and Graham Murray would have got the message out to utilise whatever you can, but slow things down, just try to break up the momentum. And by kicking these goals, they are doing just that.
Well, you saw the flags, and the wind is at Iestyn Harris's back. That's why he fancies his chances. Oh, he's giving it a great thump. He has kicked it from the halfway line. Iestyn Harris, 2 goals. Leeds Rhinos, 4 points. Bradford Bulls, 0.
Now that will Bradford elect for a short kickoff? I think I would. It amazes me that teams so often only do the short kickoff, Eddie, when they're behind on points with only, say, a few minutes left. It's a good ploy for me to use it early. He's done it again, I think. No.
Nearly, so nearly. It was into the arms of Farrell again. Well, it wouldn't have gone out. It was there for Farrell to claim, and Farrell claimed it. But there's an absolute din here at Odsal. And Leeds have certainly not silenced the Bradford Bulls yet. 4-0 they lead, though. 9.5 minutes gone.
Good work by Barry McDermott there. He had the opportunity. Oh, beautiful pass there by Morley.
Finds Godden. Godden tracked down all the way.
Big question there. Big question there. Was Sterling impeded?
Leeds sweeping forward. Harris tries to step off.
Ooh, Doniger went high.
Powell, Cummins, flicked off a Bradford leg. Price picks it up. Passes it inside to Michael Withers. Withers, tracked by Andy Speak. The youngster, 35 on his back, 19 years of age, gets to the Australian and gets in another tackle on Leon Price.
Good work from the hooker, but also good work by the youngster Leon Price. He really does impress me. He seems to improve every game.
That's 3 tackles in a row for young Speak, and he's there again to help out, bring Bernard Dwyer to ground.
Well, Bernard looked at the touch judge there.
Here's Doniger. Doniger on the charge.
He thought he had a bit of a facial by Adrian Morley.
Good defence this from Leeds. Kept Bradford in their own half of the field. Wait for the kick now from Henry Paul. There it is. Just a stab. Anderson was way offside. He has to allow Iestyn Harris the 10 metres. Now it's play on, and Bradford hunting Leroy Rivett. And Rivett away from 2, but can't get away from the next 2, McDermott and Anderson.
Good pressure on Paul then.
Sheridan. Now then, Paul Sterling from dummy half. In great form, this fella. Sheridan again, dummy half. Here's Martin Masella. Playing good stuff at the moment, Martin Masella, aiming for a place at Old Trafford in that grand final, if Leeds get there. Darryl Powell. Anthony Farrell is through the last line of defence. Now that he's got support from Sheridan, he won't need him! What an effort from Farrell that was! Anthony Farrell! Terrific try from Farrell! What an effort! And Farrell just spurned the opportunity to flick the pass, and he went for it himself, went for broke, and came up with the 4.
Well, it's a glory try from the big fella, but really, he should have offloaded. He took it on a standing start. It was a neat pass inside from Powell. It was a good step. Withers had no chance to it. Well, he got through, but he had men either side. He should have offloaded. That was a great delayed pass by Powell. He took it from a standing start. That's 2 wonderful steps that even a centre would be very proud of. But I'm sure that Graham Merritt will say, I'm glad you got there, boy, because you had support.
What a way to mark your return from suspension. Farrell with the try, Harris with the 3rd successful kick, and Leeds are ahead by 10 points to 0. The Bradford Bulls crowd now is pretty quiet.
See the delayed pass as he went through. If you move it on now, you can see the 3 defenders. And he had the strength. It was a neat step. But look, both sides. Sheridan on one side, but he shows his skill. Great effort.
Anthony Farrell with the try. Suspended for a high shot on Matthew Daylight to Gateshead. Sin-binned against the Bulls in the Cup semi-final. Try in this crucial match for Leeds Rhinos in the Super League. Leeds with a 10-point advantage. Bradford and their supporters are stunned. Here's the try scorer underneath the kickoff again. Well, Leeds have to play London next week. The Bulls are at St Helens. They have won just once, have the Rhinos, in 4 visits in Super League. But with second place, St Helens at Wigan on Sunday, this could be their moment.
Ooh, that looked a bit dodgy forward there.
The crowd thought so.
Morley went
Steve
through.
Presley didn't.
Just overstepped it, overran the pass. Well, good work by the hooker on the blind side.
Well, they are unearthing youngsters from Dean Bell's academy. And Andy Speak is another in the line. And this is Harris. Offloads to Masella. Masella, that was a knock-on. He went for the kick ahead and just missed his footing completely because of the ferocity of the challenge. Now then, what have the Bulls got? Robbie Paul.
Great work from Jeremy Donoghue there. You can see the prop forward. Masella was trying to get to it. Well, they want to reply. This crowd is still buzzing here at Oxford.
McNamara showed the ball on the inside to Doniger. Had to take the tackle in the end. Gets to his feet. Doniger is the dummy half. Oh, McDermott nearly overran it, but it was a legal pass. Paul down, 4 tackles gone. Lowe's will attack them. Lowe's, formerly with Leeds, of course, up against his former club, knows them as well as anybody. Withers at dummy half, gets the ball away to Robbie Paul. That bounces off the chest. It's back to 0 on the tackle count. They might not need them. Chances here. Ball flicked back. Still they come again. Second wave of attack. And the borders are repelled. Who is it underneath there? James Lowe's inevitably.
Oh, he's having a right go at Powell as Lowe's.
This is Dwyer, but he's enveloped by the legs of Morley.
Well, James Lowe's should have got on with the game rather than talking to Powell. It allowed Leeds to get their defensive line set up. But any advantage is gone.
Withers at dummy half. Brian McDermott back to Withers. Good defence again from Leeds. Chances here for Vicona!
Ooh, he was so close.
Inches short. Dwyer stabbed through looking for Robbie Paul. That was a poor kick from Lowe's, and Powell was able to pick it up easily.
Well, I think justice has been done here because I really didn't think that a Leeds player went for that kick. It really ricocheted onto his chest. And why the referee said back to 6, he never played at it.
It was Morley who got the ball full in the chest.
And if you
read it differently.
If you don't play at it, Eddie, it should not have been back to 6.
That's right.
There's the incident. You can't tell me that Morley made any play for that. Hit him right on the shoulder.
Well, here's Morley again now. The pass loops into the arms of Sterling. What a year this fella's having, Sterling as well. Making a real mark for the evergreens of Super League.
Not only that, he goes hunting for the work as well. Not like a lot of wingers who are just quite content to sit out wide on the touchline.
Here's Leon Price now.
Oh, big hit.
Great
good stuff from Harris. Powell and helping hand.
Henry Ball gets the pass away.
Oh, swinging up there. McDermott missed. Boyle ducked underneath it. Better duck.
And he did. McNamara now for the Bulls. Another good tackle, though, from this Leeds defence. Sheridan it was then. Here's Henrik Ball. Short ball to Anderson. Anderson is clawed down on halfway.
Well, we knew that the Leeds pack would come here with a lot of vim and vigour. They want to make sure that they are the strongest side.
The kick for touch from McNamara. Finds touch, and Bradford now will have the mistake from the resulting scrum.
Just make sure it rolls over the whitewash. Hoping that the defensive effort can just maybe make a mistake in the Leeds outfit.
Interesting note about Steve McNamara for Matthew Elliott. His loose forward is 4th with Andy Farrell on the goal-kicking chart in Super League this year. Well, we've had 18 minutes here. Matthew Elliott's coaching record stands comparison to any. And of course, for the second time, he has led the Bulls to top spot in Super League after the weekly rounds. 1997, of course, they were crowned champions on this ground on a night not dissimilar to this. In 1999, they have to go to Old Trafford if they want that glittering piece of silverware.
Confident play by Leeds. Harris, long ball out wide to Sterling. Good to see that the referee, Steve Presley, he stopped the game, stopped the clock, and said to the water carriers, get off. Far too often we've seen 5, 6, sometimes 10 out in the field.
Well, that is true, but tonight it is very warm and humid here at Odsal, and the players will need water, but they will not be allowed to coach from behind the defensive line. McDermott offloads. Harris picks up. Harris gets the ball away beautifully to Godden. Good attack here, building from Leeds. Suddenly the danger snuffed out by the tackle from Doniger for the time being. It's the last one. It's with Harris. He'll hoist the kick surely. Cross field to test Leon Price. It's too deep though. Easy for Leon Price. Diffuses the bomb in his own in-goal area. The play will restart with a tap on the 20-metre line. That was cool from the 17-year-old.
Was it ever? Calm and collected there. Just whipped the ball away. We had the opportunity, Leeds there though. Brad Godden made the half break. He had Sheridan back on the inside.
Leon Price, who will celebrate his 18th birthday on grand final night. If Bradford are there, it'll be a night for him to remember. And there's somebody sitting on the bench for Leeds as well, by the way, Chev Walker. It's his birthday that night as well. He will then be 17. Penalty here, meanwhile, for the Bulls.
Obviously, Masella getting all over him, having a second shot at Anderson. First time that the official has given a penalty for holding down. It's been a hectic pace, hasn't it?
It has, and it'll be a hectic pace all the way through to the grand final. We've mentioned it in terms of birthdays for both some of the players who might be on view there, but any other information you want, 0113 244 1114. Monday morning they'll be open for business and we'll be delighted to take your calls.
Well spotted by McDermott. Good set-up move by the Bulls, trying to bring the ball back on the inside, but McDermott went for it.
Henry Paul, good ball by Kona. Now as Vicona got the strength, ball inside, it's spilled.
He was in touch, surely. Well, the touch flag didn't go up. See, he had his foot before releasing the ball.
Well, they've not ruled that. They've ruled, after you heard the conflab between the touch judge and the referee, that he passed it from within the field of play. From what we saw, that should have been a scrum down.
Either way, Leeds have come up with a possession, so they'll be quite happy about it. Well, I must say, the tactics from Leeds are most impressive. They are giving this ball a lot of air out wide. Sterling, I think, has had more passes in the first 21 minutes than he had in the entire game last week.
21 minutes has gone. A couple of changes, McDermott and Speak. That must mean that Jackson's about to come into the action. McDermott and Speak off, and there he is. Jackson comes on and Fleary replaces Barry McDermott.
Well, what a battle royal that will be. James Lowes against Lee Jackson. Two of the most constructive hookers in Super League. Who will come out trumps? That's the big question. Jackson so often has come on and salvaged leads. Oh, was that forward from Cummins? It was.
Yes, it was, and then Leroy Rivette was not very happy with the challenge on him by Leon Price, but it's the forward pass that the whistle has gone for.
Yep, you can see that Rivette was just slightly in front of Cummins. Now Leeds, to be fair, after the opening exchanges through the forwards, they are giving this ball plenty of air.
Fielden has come on for the Bradford Bulls.
That's a good substitution as well, Stuart Fielden. He is the one man, perhaps, that can penetrate down the middle through this very strong Leeds defence. And that's what Matthew Elliott, the Bulls coach, needs. He needs someone to break that line. They failed to do it yet.
Here's someone who possibly can, Henry Paul, but they're watching him very closely. Henry Paul, of course, in his Wigan days, a real thorn in Leeds side. The kick ahead by Boyle is charged down. This will be interesting. The ball played the man now, says Steve Presley.
Little doubt about it.
He played the man as much as the Adrian Morley wanted earlier.
Precisely. Godden had no idea where that was going. I think he was pretty thankful that the ball hit his knee.
Brad Godden. Paul Bell from Melbourne next year, so it looks as though Brad Godden will be on his way from Headingley. And that should send one or two alarm bells ringing round the Super League clubs, because Godden could be a wonderful servant for somebody, if not for Leeds next year. If he doesn't get an offer, he'll go home, I understand. This is Jackson.
Leeds are also offloading in the tackle. That means that Bradford are not committing themselves enough to getting the ball carrier down.
Great run there from Sheridan, stopped by Withers. Leeds on a roll here with Jackson. Out wide it goes to Leroy Rivette. Rivette can't get through those two, and indeed McAvoy and Price bundle him over the line, but then I'm afraid Price pushed Rivette onto the running track, and that wasn't necessary, really.
Well, they've done the job over the whitewash. Do without that one, and scrape the elbow.
Yeah, that's concrete that Leroy Rivette hit after the push from Price.
Well, they're all hyped up for this one, but he'd be better served for getting rid of that out of his game. And if eyes tell the story, I think Leroy Rivette will be saying the best way for me to get my own back is putting the ball and scoring the try.
Robbie Paul. Lowes gets it away to Brian McDermott. Bradford are trying to outmuscle them in the forwards, but Leeds are standing tall at the moment. This is Bernard Dwyer.
This is great defence. Oh, good work though by Dwyer.
Jimmy Lowes now.
Oh, bigger than a seller. Well, Bradford have to change their tactics. They are struggling to get through this Leeds one line of defence, so the little chip has to come into it.
McNamara, back it goes to Dwyer, on it goes to Lowe's. He's trapped as James Lowe's, is he? He is now, that's the last tackle.
Bradford standing far too shallow there. They are not giving themselves room to move.
Up goes the bomb from McNamara. This is a tester for Rivette.
They've got to be offside. They were in front of the kicker.
The referee was shouting to the Bradford players to give him 10 metres, and they didn't hear him. Mind you, that's excusable with this cacophony of noise around their ears.
You see, they were all in front, apart from maybe 3 behind there. And
I think Leon Price actually was one of them who might have been onside, but the others weren't.
They have to give him 10. That's what the official was screaming out to the players. It would be difficult here, wouldn't it, to listen to anything?
Well, unbelievably, I can hardly hear you. That's how noisy it is.
You can wipe that smile off your face as well.
Oh, they're offside again. Steve McNamara pinged this time by the referee. I think Harris will have another 2 here.
Of course he will. Well...
Oh, they've gone short. Taking it quick. Harris is after 4. Price comes in. Clears up. Well, it was worth the gamble, I suppose. Or was it? Why didn't he go for 2?
I think I would have gone for the 2, and now...
They're offside themselves.
Well, that is amazing. OK, quick thinking by Justin Harris. He could see that there was no one at home in the full-back position, but well spotted by Leon Price. He is a thinker, is that fellow Justin Harris, but also equal to the task is the youngster Leon Price. We highlighted him before this game. His learning curve this season has been superb.
5 Leeds penalties to 2 of Bradford, you might have noticed.
Well, I would have gone for the 2 points on offer there. They have a slight breezed advantage in this first half. And as you can say, if you to make it for 12, that would be 2 converted tries. And the way this Leeds defence is hammering into them. Oh, he's hurt. He's hurt badly, is Bernard Dwyer. That was a big hit.
He's on his haunches. Oh,
he's lost it.
Dropped.
Young fielder.
Dropped by Jamie Peacock.
Peacock, I mean, sorry. Well, the mistakes are coming aplenty here, and you could see that when Sheridan went into him, this is the hit, and he was losing the ball. Good work from Sheridan.
Another discovery this year, Jamie Peacock. He missed the whole game last week. He was at Featherstone last year, but Bernard Dwyer is now... Well, he's got blood streaming from his cheekbone, as you can see, and the nose and above the eye. It's going to be one of those nights at Odsal, I think.
Well, it usually comes about when you go into a tackle quite awkwardly, and
he's in the blood bin.
The studs perhaps just trail into your face was Grunch.
The substitution for goals number 16, Warren Childs, replacing number 23, Bernard Dwyer.
He didn't look well after that tackle. The battle of the forwards is definitely going Leeds' way.
Harris would try to get the pass out wide to Godden, but Darryl Powell had run back into the side of him and blocked the route. It's with Glanville now.
It looks like Bradford are ready to make another change. He's trying to find a system as their coach, Matthew Elliott, to put a bit of inspiration back into the Bulls' play.
Good quick hand from Powell, finds Godden.
Big hit, he's lost it. Good hit from Baikona. It's a knock-on. That was a good... Oh, Godden's not too happy about the way that Baikona threw it. Look at this. Pretty difficult to hold onto the football.
He and Jowett, pretty heavy.
Here we go. Bang. And he was holding the ball too high. Impossible to keep hold of it.
Godden with the knock-on. Bradford with possession from the scrum. This is Nathan McAvoy now, taking on Cummings and Jowett, and Leon Price doing well there to apply a bit of weight to keep McAvoy in the field of play. Leeds were looking to slide him over the whitewash. This is David Boyle now. Now Jimmy Lowe's coming down the short side with McAvoy. Good ball. Price wrapped up by Rivette. That was a bit of afters for what happened earlier on. Here's Robbie Paul.
Well, it amazes me the first 5 minutes, Bradford opted for the kick, and now they're not utilising it at all. They're trying to just use brute force. But strength alone won't get through this Leeds outfit.
A little kick might. That bounced off the legs of Powell, and he will shuttle it touching goal. Did well to recover then, Darryl Powell.
Well, this was what was needed. And it was that man again, James Lowes, that applied the pressure. When you get into a position like that, and you have someone who can read the game so well as James Lowes, you can just tinkle the ball through, put the pressure on. He's a thinker all the time, he's the hooker.
And Darryl Powell, amazing really when you think he made his debut for the Sheffield Eagles 15 years ago this weekend.
Amazing indeed.
What a year he's had.
For 2 years, they said he was on the strap heap.
He's bounced back, hasn't he? And he started to win medals as well. Will he win another one at Old Trafford? Well, this will be a massive psychological blow for the Leeds Rhinos if they come up with a victory here at Odsal. Half an hour gone, they're ahead 10-0. Bradford looking to repair the damage. Withers.
Working overtime, isn't he, Morley?
Morley with the tackle. It was a bit high according to the supporters, not according to the referee. Henry Paul gets to his feet. They're in the red zone. This is Lowes now. Good run from Lowes. Again, Harris in there and Marcella.
Oh, he's hurt as well. He's gone over on the ankle. Well, that will be a bitter blow because he's the one man out there that is creating a bit of a problem for this Leeds defence.
Paul back to Fielden. On it goes to Robbie Paul. Great tackling by Sheridan. Robbie Paul lost that with the ferocity of the challenge.
Well, this is where they twist. You can see, oh, look at that leg there. Oh, he's in a lot of trouble. He's underneath the sticks. But he's a battler. He will not give in.
I think he might have waved the white flag here. Penalty now to Leeds. It's swinging the Rhinos' way. Another quick tap from Harris.
They're twisting the tourniquet now. It should have been perhaps seen by the official. He said play on. There was a bit of 50-50 in that. But they have come to muscle the opposition of this Leeds pack. And they are doing just that. And you saw the solid side of the hooker, James Lowes. He knows Matthew Elliott. They're in with a lot of problems.
Well, Jackson has come up with a mistake at the play of the ball. There's a rarity.
Knew what he wanted to do.
Maybe he was watching Paul Deacon, and Deacon has only just come on, and I noticed that he is now limping heavily as well, and he's having running repairs.
Well, some of these tackles that are going in, it's not surprising. Leeds look hungry, don't they? Bradford, I'm afraid, look a little bit bruising.
And this could be a problem for James Lowes. He is walking on the ankle, though.
We can see right underneath there. Well, that is a huge blow for the Bulls.
Now the Bradford side have a penalty. They're coming thick and fast at the moment.
Well, I wouldn't opt for the 2 points. They probably will go for it. Yes, they've decided already. But I think at 10-0, just before the half-time break, I'd like to get a bit more momentum back into my play, and you only can do that by kicking the ball into touch and applying the pressure.
I suppose the concern that it's nil, and remember it was nil last time we saw the Bradford Bulls at Wigan. Anthony Farrell looks like he's got a bit of a problem. Arm is held rather strangely. The right arm. Meanwhile, McNamara is taking aim on this attempted goal. Over 1,200 career points now. Just one goal against Leeds this year in Super League. So this would double his tally and give Bradford a couple of points. And the Leeds fans behind the sticks there doing their level best to put him off. No problems for McNamara. Slides the ball over the crossbar. And Bradford have now got something to cheer about.
Leeds will opt for the long kick downfield, try to just apply that pressure, which, as I mentioned before, it would have not been the decision I would have gone for. They are looking out of sorts, I'm afraid, of the Bulls. They're looking a little bit, shall we say, weak in certain departments, and that's been brought about by the way that this Leeds pack has really got stuck into them.
Well, all sorts of changes in personnel for both sides. Let's catch up with it all. Here's Phil.
Well, the problem for the Leeds Rhinos is that Anthony Farrell looks as though he's pulled a muscle in his side. He came off, and you can see he's got ice there. I think it's chest muscle or something like that. He was pretty uncomfortable. For Bradford Bulls, Jimmy Lowe seems to have made a miraculous recovery, and having limped off at the other end of the pitch, he was pretty soon back on his feet and jogging and wanted to come back, and he had to be persuaded maybe just to sit out the rest of this first half. But I reckon we'll see Jimmy Lowe's back in action fairly soon.
Well, those being strapped, Anderson alongside him, and Bernard Dwyer there as well. We promised you maybe a cruel match, and we also pointed out, Steve-O, in the pre-match preamble to this, 3 defeats for Bradford this year, but all those defeats have come against the sides around them. Wigan, St Helens and Leeds earlier this year.
The crunch games. That's good play by Boyle. I think Boyle knocked that ball out, and it went backwards.
So here's Bradford with a big chance. This is McDermott. First tackle, and they're within 11 metres, 10 metres maybe of the line. Good movement. Henry Paul spinning away from one tackle. Couldn't get away from Lee Jackson. Gets up, plays the ball to Paul Deacon. Here's McNamara. Back it goes to Deacon again. Deacon then flips it back to Boyle. Boyle was almost through, but it was a great tackle by Jackson. Bradford are inching ever closer. McNamara back on the inside. All wrapped up by Fleary, though. That's how close the Bulls are. McNamara. Robbie Paul stabbed it through. McAvoy's after it. Bravery from Rivette. Good defence from the Leeds wing.
Again, the use of the kick nearly to their advantage, but Leroy Rivette, great position here. With a neat little chip through. See that McAvoy was herring in on him. And I'm afraid that's about the only option that has been left open to the Bulls so far.
Marcelo with another good drive.
They get so close to the Leeds line, and then they have to opt for the kick, because this defence from Leeds is quite outstanding.
Well, they've certainly got their tails up, haven't they, after their victory over Wigan last week. And they're claiming a big scalp tonight if they win. The league leaders, the Bradford Bulls, and of course they get the drop then on St Helens, who have to go to Wigan on Sunday for the last ever match at Central Park. And then, of course, next week it's Saints against Bradford, and anything could happen in that, I suppose. But Wigan Saints, Sunday at 3:30, the kick-off at 4 o'clock, and we've got a lovely little potted biography of the Central Park Stadium to bring you in the pre-match build-up to that game.
Oh, good tackle by Gott. Neat little pass out wide to Jowett from Paul.
Stepping from Robbie Paul, he did well, gets the ball away to Henry as he fell. Here comes Peacock. Wrestle to the ground. They're finding it so tough to get through this first line of defence. McAvoy shaped a kick. Another good tackle coming in by Cummins this time. McNamara, Deacon, on it goes to Robbie Paul. Here's Henry Paul, back to brother Robbie, on to Withers. Good quick hands, but well watched again by Lee Jackson.
Great scrambling defence there. Leeds are sliding across. They're just shutting the Bradford side down.
McNamara with the kick wasn't terribly clever. Oh, he bounced in the field of play, though. Rivette took the gamble, allowed it to bounce, and he just had his sights set in McNamara. He was hurried, he was under pressure, but he still got a useful kick in the end.
He had a big decision to make there, Leroy Rivette. Do I take the ball and get bundled in goal? Would have been a dropout, so he opted to take the risks and let the ball bounce. It could have gone anywhere.
Bradford will now hunt the mistake in the last minute and a half. Powell, Withers in there quickly. Gotten, anxious to get on with it.
Good play there by Leeds. You could see how they held the ball in the scrum, trying to get the penalty for the Bradford side being offside. They held back.
Paul Sterling, one of the oldest and two of the youngest, Peacock and Fielden, all around him. Here's Andy Hay. He will never forget the match against the Bulls in June. He got a hat-trick for Leeds that day.
Henry Paul is down.
Well, they're going down like 9 pins for the Bulls. Jackson gives it to Harris. Harris smacks it over the top into open space.
See how he put the back spin on that ball? That was an excellent kick by the fullback, Justin Harris.
Here's Leon Price. Great chase downfield. Glanville leading the way. My, I know they've got David Barnhill coming in next year, but he has got an actor following Mark Glanville.
Workaholic, isn't he?
Desperate to go out of an outstanding career with a grand final winner's medal. And he's struggling now after that wonderful chase and tackle. This is Deacon, ducking under. Lovely play from Deacon. Support was on his inside. And Kavita Vaikona had come in hunting some work. Now, Robbie Paul. This is going to be the last attack. Henry Paul got the pass away. McAvoy all enveloped. The siren comes in. It sounds. The referee just about heard it. Graham Murray checking the watch. A very good 40 minutes from Leeds. Not so from Matthew Elliott's Bulls. Yestin Harris kicked Leeds into an early lead. 4 points in the opening 8 minutes. And Anthony Farrell notched a try. Matthew Elliott waiting for his players now and will talk to them in the dressing room, knowing their only reward for 40 minutes slog, the McNamara penalty, 6 minutes from half-time. This is the only try scored by Anthony Farrell, now off the field and injured. But first blood and first half to Leeds Rhinos, 10 points to 2. Coming up live tomorrow afternoon on Sky Sports, international football, 2 Euro 2000 qualifiers. England-Luxembourg, followed by Sweden against Bulgaria. And a reminder to Sky's digital viewers that tomorrow afternoon, for the first time ever, you can watch England's crucial game against Luxembourg live and interactive on Sky Sports Extra. But right now, a brutal game of rugby league between the Bradford Bulls and the Leeds Rhinos. The Bulls trailing at half-time, 10 points to 2. But no matter what happens in the next 40 minutes, Matthew Elliott's club will take with them the record, the Super League record crowd into the playoffs. And I rather fancy that that could even be smashed in the playoffs here at Odsal in the weeks ahead. Short kick-off from Yestin Harris. Withers is underneath it, but someone's gone down in a heap. Cummins, is it? No, Jackson was taken out off the ball.
Well, I mentioned the fact that it surprised me that teams don't utilise the short kick-off early. And you could see that Paul definitely took out Jackson. Or did he? Or did Jackson milk it? Well, he is absolutely mad.
He's saying it's tough. It's a tough call from Steve Presley.
Was it ever? I'm not so sure that Lee Jackson did not milk that. And not surprisingly, this fella is not going to take the tap. He is, on this occasion, going to take the opportunity of a vital 2 points. He's the key man. Can they get him back on? He's so important to the Bradford Bulls. He'll be eager, but will he be 100% fit?
Well, this is deja vu. The first half started with a couple of early penalties from Yestin Harris, and the second half is starting with a penalty from Yestin Harris. That's the angle he's got. Doesn't miss them normally, doesn't miss them tonight. Applause from the Leeds fans in this record crowd. What a start for the Rhinos, 12 points to 2 now.
Well, you take what's running for you, and I think the Lady Luck was shining on the Rhino at the moment. But it was a good ploy to utilise the short kickoff. We mentioned in the first half that it's usually the sides that are trailing in the last 5 or 8 minutes. So that's a big mistake again.
How many tonight? And Deacon this time the culprit. That's the second.
Well, you could understand it if they were the away side, but this is their home ground. They train here. They
Good
were
call from Andy Hay and Leroy Rivette.
not the best start for the Bradford Bulls. They needed something better than that.
2.5 minutes second half gone. Leeds on the charge. Half-time news. Bill.
And that wasn't what the Bradford Bulls coach Matthew Elliott ordered. He was hoping for a positive start to this half from his side, looking for a better performance all round. In particular, more imaginative play from his side, trying maybe to unlock what has been a pretty formidable Leeds defence so far. Graham Murray, the Leeds coach, very, very happy with that first 40 minutes. Everybody did what they were required to do. They came up with the points, they came up with the defence, and they're coming up with more attack now.
Cleary gets up quickly, plays the ball to Jackson. Here's Harris, he stabbed it towards the in-goal, and it was a brave defensive effort from Michael Withers.
Tremendous play there by the fullback. Talk about applying the pressure. Justin Harris did that. He stood his ground in Withers. He's made a good fist of it as Withers since he's gone back into the fullback position.
Penalty now to the Bradford Bulls. McDermott struggling to get to his feet. Those two wouldn't get out of the way.
Well, I don't think that Graham Murray will be quite happy with this. You can see there the prop forward Martin Marcella was a little bit slow to get away in the first instant.
Well, all the pressure easing after lovely play from Justin Harris, and last year's man of steel, Steve O'Harris, is starting to have a growing influence on the Leeds Rhinos in the latter stages of this season. He was massive against Wigan last week, and so too tonight.
Well, we're saying so many times, don't we, that you've got to have some workers out there to lay the platform, and the Leeds pack, they really have taken it to Bradford.
Can Bradford score the first try of the second half? Fielding disappears under a heavy challenge from Marcella and Cleary.
Well, we spoke about this second shot coming in. It's usually the third or fourth player. And you can see that Fielding, as he was just going down, watch how they finish him. And I think Marcella has a swinging right arm there. I thought it was a shoulder in real time, but crack. Oh, that is a bad one. There's a moan and a groan with this massive crowd. Well, what was the touch judge doing on that far side? To be fair to the official, Steve Presley, he was on the blind side of it. But little doubt that that fella, Martin Marcella, had the swinging right arm. Well, come to crunch time, yes. But do it legally, boys.
19 years of age, Stuart Fielding. Matthew Elliott earlier this season expressing concern over the way this big youngster was being treated in the Super League. Referee Steve Presley saying he should take his time. Referee will now call time back on. It's the third tackle. And here come Bradford again. Jowett. Robbie Paul to Henry. He'll hoist the midfield bomb. That's into space. This isn't a bad kick. It'll bounce back to Leon Price. He palms it in field. It's play on, but Leeds have got it back. Jackson read the script a little quicker than anybody else.
Well, Withers must have thought that it was offside. He had the opportunity to go for that ball. Yeah, Withers was in an offside position. That's why he made no attempt to go for it. Quick thinking there by the fullback.
This now is Brad Godden, and Godden's away from two. Lovely run from Brad Godden. No one there in support, though. Just had to take the tackle from Henry Paul. Powell at dummy half. Morley charging forward. Anderson. But Morley releases the pass. Powell onto Godden again. Here's Cleary. And Cleary is surrounded. Last tackle here. Jackson. Sheridan. Harris. They're running this. Forward pass, they scream on the far side. Not so, says the referee. Leon Price picks up and immediately loses his footing.
Oh, an opportunity there. Look forward, didn't it? Vivek got through, and then just as he picks up the ball, it slips slightly. And he's got a... Now then, I think there was a trailing knee that's given him a dead leg, I feel.
He's in a lot of trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble, isn't he? I think it was Harris's knee that came into contact when he just slipped. It was a loose ball. This is it. It slips here, and then Harris comes in. Oh, it didn't look too bad there. Maybe they just twisted his body.
Maybe he's just twisted the knee, which would be a bitter blow. Another bitter blow for the Bulls.
Yeah, I think it's Hay that's got it. Hay's knees coming over the top. At first I thought it was Harris, but definitely Andy Hay coming over. Well, we mentioned it at half-time yet again, and in the fact that seeing Leeds coming in there, that third man into the tackle, they really are bruising them.
Well, Mike Forshaw out with a hairline fracture. James Lowe's off the field with problems. Leon Price is okay and able to carry on, but not the best time of the year to be picking up a bit of an injury crisis. Spruce is also out, of course, the full-back, but he might be back next week for the trip to St Helens, and Stuart Fielden is just off as well. Let's go to Bill. Is he in emergency ward 10 in Bradford?
It sounded like it, Eddie, from that list, but Leon Price has got back off his sick bed. He's moving freely, well, not too freely out there, but at least he's still on the pitch. James Lowe's has just emerged a bit belatedly from the Bradford Bulls dressing room, and the word from Matthew Elliott is that he probably will come back. As far as Leeds go, Anthony Farrell's still on the bench. Graham Murray said he's unlikely to come back unless it's really necessary. And as you say, they really don't want to be taking any risks at this crucial stage of the season.
No, definitely not. It's more important for Leeds, with all due respect, than it is for Bradford. They are top dogs. They will have the week off. Leeds are after second spot. And they're playing like it too tonight.
Good play by Morley. Second row, attracted 2 tackles, whipped the ball out. They're bossing things out there to the Rhinos.
Sheridan to Harris, slides the kick through, it bounces for Hay. It's still the last tackle. Wonderful hands from Leeds, still the last tackle. Keeping it alive to Godden. Godden flicks it back, picked up by offside.
They'll take the first knock on. Accidental offside, but he'll take the first knock on.
Listen, please, man, go ahead and ball. Listen.
That's the knock on there from the full-back, Withers. They'll be heading feet to Leeds. More pressure. It's no good the crowd going bananas. It was spot on by the official. Godden trying to keep the ball alive, and you'll see Withers get a hand to it. Accidental offside, of course, but they've opted for the scrum.
Henry Paul, one of the studiers of the big screen at our matches.
Now then, will Leeds come up with a move? Set piece.
Maybe so. There's Powell. Here is Harris, who's joined the line. Lovely ball back on the inside. Cummins. Desperate defence there from Nathan McAvoy. Lee Jackson. Now Darren Fleary spins away from one. Little Paul Deacon sticks to him like glue. Leeds camped underneath the Bradford sticks. Jackson onto Sheridan. He'll change the direction. Has to take the tackle though from Deacon again. Jackson back to Powell. Long ball to Harris. Further wide, looking for Rivette out wide. And it bounces through the legs of the Leeds man and finds touch. A relieved Austell we're in now.
Not the best pass from Yasin Harris, but you can see them all queuing up there. And it was left in 2 minds. Rivette made a real meal of it, but it was coming through on the half volley.
Well, this has all the intensity, doesn't it, as a playoff. And when you consider it is a cup tie for Leeds, because they want that second place desperately ahead of the St Helens team. I suppose it takes on the attitude of a cup tie.
What's the biggest problem now going through the brains of the Bradford players is, of course, they know that they've finished on top. They know that they've got that week to prepare for the big game. Remember, they've only to win 1 game in the playoffs and they go straight through to the grand final, but psychologically it can be working against them.
Well, the huge roar in the background, I think they've just announced over the tannoy the crowd. And they made it their ambition to get the Super League record crowd going into the playoffs, and they've got it. But how about that for a chase from Paul Sterling? This fella looks 22, never mind 35. He's got all the enthusiasm of a youngster.
Certainly has. He's got a big game tonight.
Had a big season. He's not missed a match in Super League. He missed last year's grand final. He missed this year's Wembley final. I only hope if Leeds get there, Graham Murray is kind to him this year. This is Jackson. Mind you, you would never hear Paul Sterling complain, not one sentence.
True professional.
And here's another.
They really are on fire, Leeds, at the moment. Full of confidence, quick playing the ball.
It's the last tackle, this. Sheridan over the top. That bounces in the field of play and then goes over the line. Sheridan just turning the balls round.
simple, basic rugby league football. See how the ball is spinning backwards. Great to see these kickers. They practice hour on end to ensure that they get it right. But for that fella, Matthew Elliott, I'm afraid the kicking game from Bradford has not been up to the usually high standard.
I hate to labour the point about these 3 defeats against the teams around them, and at the moment they're on the wrong end of the scoreline again, but that sort of thing will surely nag at the confidence, won't it?
Well, it always does, but on their own mid, he did well then, McAvoy, to get rid of that ball. He knew he was going into touch. But that's one of the players, the 2 Paul brothers there, they really have got to inject themselves a little bit more. They've got to change the tactics, stand further back. This Leeds defence are out here. This is McAvoy getting rid of the ball. He did ever so well. But we know of the skills of the 2 Paul brothers, but they've got to give themselves more space out wide.
Here's Bernard Dwyer, but he runs into a brick wall, and it was called Glanville. Deacon, an exciting little player. He's after his own kick. Harris has fumbled it, and he just hacks the ball over the line. Well, Paul Deacon might be holding the key here.
Beautiful little chip over the top. I mentioned at half-time that the little run just before the half-time hooter perhaps built the confidence in that young man. You could see that Justin Harris was in a lot of trouble. Matthew Elliott looking to prize open this Leeds defence.
Look at the tension written all over Matthew Elliott's face there. They might be league leaders, but he so desperately wants victory against Leeds here tonight to maintain that 100% home record. Robbie Paul! Is this the moment for Robbie Paul to produce the magic?
Oh, what a tackle! He's not going to score! That'll be a knock-on, surely.
The referee will look at the touch judge who stood his ground. Graham Murray.
Okay then, yeah.
Knock on for mine.
Time off.
Graham Murray watching.
For a knock on, please.
Was there a knock on?
What a great
Robbie
tackle,
Paul
though.
with the run. Now, did it come off a Leeds player, if that's the case?
What a beautiful tackle. It was Powell that came out of nowhere. This will be a knock-on from the Bradford player, Robbie Paul.
It's a knock-on, Judy.
They had the overlap. Leroy Rivette was in no man's land, and Daryl Powell has probably saved the Rhino's skin. What a big hit. He's looking for the skill. You can see Rivette is stranded, and just at the right moment, it goes forward. It'll be a disappointment for the majority of the Bradford crowd here.
He's not looking for the forward pass. He's looking about the knock-on.
Knock-on. It is a knock-on.
Listen to the groan. And listen to the roar from the Leeds. And Matthew Elliott prowls in the dugout. Henry Paul has words to say. Down the ear of his younger brother.
Well, I know what he's saying. He said you should have passed earlier. It's easy to say with hindsight.
Sheridan gets the possession. Daryl Powell.
Try saver, no doubt about that.
He's come up with some big plays this year, but maybe that's one of the biggest. That could give Leeds second spot.
Well, it's the first time that we see one of the Pauls make any sort of headway across. Even though it was going across the way, they had the overlap. It was surely going to be a try. It looked as though the Bulls were going to be back into it, and McDermott's down. Oh, that's a big hit from Anderson. To be fair to Morley, he just shook his head and said, let's get on with it.
The kick from Jackson is downfield. Withers fumbles with it, but it went backwards.
Look at that chase.
Such enthusiasm in the blue and gold.
8 Leeds players in one straight line when the fullback finally got the ball and turned around. It has been a classic piece of coaching from Graham Murray. The players are up for this. They must have worked hard midweek. Oh.
Withers puts it down, Boyle rather puts it down. The ball went backwards. That's a big call from Presley.
Well, Deacon came from an offside position, but he did go behind the man. That's okay.
It was Jamie Peacock as well, my apologies. Oh, good skill from Robbie Paul to Henry. There's Peacock again. That's the last, though, and they're still only just inside the Leeds half. It's with McNamara. He dubbed it through looking for Boyle. Well played by Sterling.
What a game this fella's having. Paul Sterling coming to the rescue yet again. Good option, though, to keep the kick. He just gets better, doesn't he?
He does. He got a try here last year. And one against the Bulls in June.
Well, I'm sure that Paul Sterling and Darryl Powell, they must sit in the corner at training and say, I've got a secret, now you let you me. I know your secret.
Jackson at dummy half. Another good run, a punishing run from the Leeds substitute.
Basic rugby league football yet again.
I was going to say, if there's a more impressive substitute this year than Jackson, giving me his name, would you? Withers now for the Bulls. They must be getting more and more desperate as the clock ticks to 56 minutes. Henry Paul.
Look at that defense.
Oh,
swinging out.
Morley.
Well, Morley looks confused. And he did get into him.
More of a grab than a swing.
No, he got him.
The later in Morley is just back from suspension. He has been sent off 5 times in his career, and the very first time in his career was here at Odsal in 1996. He's a lovely lad.
Well,
but he sometimes just treads a very thin line.
Well, they'll have to be careful. Morley got away with that, and remember earlier there was one from Masella, hit the young kid Stuart Fielden. They have come to crunch this Bradford outfit, and they've done just that.
Robbie Paul again, angled run, cut through, hauled down by Cummins. When the moments come, the three-quarters get in with their tackles, don't they? Henry Paul, trying to spin away all the time and clobbered by Jackson and McDermott. Trying to get the penalty, not forthcoming.
Well, at least the two Pauls are looking for work because that's what's needed.
Last tackle here. Deacon. Back it goes, McNamara. Flicked it to nobody, and Godden's got it back for Leeds.
Well, that was an awful pass. Sheer panic. That really sums it up.
Missed tackles, 14 by Bradford, 4 by Leeds, but in 17 and 3/4 minutes of this second half, Leeds have not missed one.
See, they want to get on and play the ball quickly.
Not allowed to carry on. This is Sterling, who's away again.
Good refereeing by Steve Presley there. He could have given the penalty. Well, Jackson says, look, I'll do it.
And
he's
now
penalised.
He's penalised Jackson for pulling the players off.
He's not allowed to do that. And he's got it right. It's no good arguing. Well, I think there was a little bit of a short one from Bernard Dwyer. This is getting tasty. Yep, I think they maybe a few squared ups. That's the reason why Jackson went in. Not the fact that he wanted to pull him away so they could play the ball quickly. It was just that he was incensed by the fact that Dwyer threw in that short right. Oh, this is simmering.
Certainly is.
Look how they're twisting the ball carrier. Most of the injuries that Bradford have picked up tonight has been because of this wonderful defence, but the way that they're spinning them and trying to slam them to the ground.
Anderson plays the ball to Deacon, on to Robbie Paul. Here is McNamara. Another great tackle from Andy Hay this time, and Powell's all over his show. Robbie Paul gets the ball away. That's Peacock. Quick play the ball. Robbie Paul down the short side. Stabs it towards the in-goal. Invitation for Price.
He's got there.
Oh!
He's got there as a kid.
Price is convinced he is. Referee's not so sure. And he says, yes, it's a try. It's a try. Leon Price has no doubt. It's just the grounding of the ball.
What a great effort from this youngster. Look at the pressure there. That is try time.
This could get the Bulls back in it.
Downward pressure with the fingers spread open. Good work on the blind side. I think they'll go TRY for this one.
You're not at it again, are you?
Yep.
I've seen them given, I've seen them disallowed.
He did ever so well, didn't he?
He did.
We knew it was going to be a battle royal between these two. You see how he used his strength to keep Leroy Rivette away from it. I'll have two bob on TRY. But good work there by Robbie Paul on the blind side. They just caught Rivette.
Well, he's convinced. Leon Price is convinced. What say you, video ref? The try is given, and Leon Price knows how priceless that could be. Unlucky for some 13, not for Leon Price, and not for the Bulls either. Now they're behind them. Now then, this is a big kick from Steve McNamara, and he knows it too. He wants to get on with it. And he's just pushed it the wrong side. But Bradford are back in the hunt, big style, courtesy of the 17-year-old.
Could see that Sheridan was down on his haunches. Powell was caught, Harris was too late. The price is right. And what a time to score it. This is a reaction. Yes! Show them the teeth, boy. You are back in the hunt. You're back in the game. They needed that. What a talent this young kid is.
He is 17 years of age, his 15th consecutive appearance. He's missed just one of the last 25. Leon Price, 1999. What a year. The birth of Leon Price in terms of the Super League. And remember, Leon Price celebrates his birthday on Grand Final Day as well. Well, who's your man of the match? 0660 10 10 13. We want your view now. And of course the prize, as ever, 2 tickets to the Grand Final. And you could be watching a Grand Final dress rehearsal here. There'll be no complaints from 24,000 plus if it is.
Well, we were screaming for the two Paul brothers to get more involved.
That's a 40-20!
What a beautiful
kick from McNamara.
The tide, it is a turning. Steve Presley, well, they're booing him, but he's got to make sure he hasn't got eyes all over his head.
Well, he did say it's a 40-20 as soon as this boot left the this boot left the ball. This ball left the boot.
It's that white thing that's propelled forward.
B-A-double-L. This will be S-C-R-U-M, A-double-T-A-C-K. That can do it as well.
Cut that out.
Great kick from McNamara. The Bulls looking to turn the screw.
Well, just 10 minutes, that 10 minutes passage of play where the two Paul brothers got themselves involved.
This is Withers. They're within 10 metres. They've got bags of tackles left, and here goes McAvoy. Darryl Powell and Darren Fleary keep him out. They're 2 metres from the line. Brian McDermott. Neat little dancing, but it's all again to naught because of this Leeds defence. And Deakin picks himself up, plays it to Dwyer. Bernard Dwyer almost through. Robbie Paul at dummy half. Back it goes to McNamara again. Crossfield kick. Oh, brilliant! Brilliantly taken by McAvoy! He'll score! He plucked that out of the air. That was a planned move. What's all this about? That was sensational play from the Bulls. Leeds don't like it. Fantastic try. What a crossfield kick. Graham Murray knows the match may be just slipping from his grasp. Matthew Elliott, though, he knows that in the last 5 minutes, this game has turned upside down. McAvoy's 50th, none better, I suggest.
In all my years of watching rugby league football, I have never seen a try like this. He's onside. It looked as though it wasn't the best kick in the world, but what a take. If that's the planned move, get it in all the coaching manuals, get it in any book, get it in the dictionary, get it in the encyclopedias. This is sensational. This is a la Aussie rules. He took it as though that was plan A, followed by plan B, which is putting the ball down. He can't believe it. He's got to go for the screen, he says. He did. He didn't have to. He was quite happy. He was not offside. What a take. What a try. What a game.
It's level. McNamara, who put the kick in across field for the try for McAvoy, gets the conversion. It's 12-all at Odsal, and Matthew Elliott's Bulls are rampant suddenly. 2 tries in 4 minutes.
Well, I said the kicking game is always important, but this is nothing short of sensational.
Well, McAvoy is about 6'3", and Leroy Rivette is 4'6".
Tell you what, he can come and pluck my turkey. That was sensational.
It's on the way now. Bradford suddenly have got the tails up. Leeds are rocking. St Helens get hope for second place. And Bradford, with this proud home record at Odsal, are desperate to keep it intact. Henry Paul.
Now, how important was the fact that Leeds skipper Justin Harris elected for a kick over when it looked as though they were going to go for the 2 points.
Withers! Pulled down by Darren Fleary. Quick play the ball. The Leeds Rhinos are stretched. Henry Paul. Oh, it went to nobody. McDermott couldn't take it in. And Harris comes away with the possession for Leeds, who are relieved.
Well, again, it was a panic pass. They really didn't need that.
Oh, great stuff, though, from Hay to Cummins.
Tremendous football. Matthew Elliott knows that they've missed the opportunity. It was a silly pass yet again.
Well, if it would have come off, we'd have all been saying brilliant.
Yeah, but look at the clock. There's plenty of time to go. They've lost the initiative. They had Leeds on the back foot. They've only done that for a period of, say, 8 minutes. You've got to keep control.
Glanville, Bradford suddenly have found their second win. Little less than a quarter of an hour to go. This game isn't over yet. Fleary, beautiful ball. Quick hands from Leeds. Jackson now straight up the middle, where it hurts.
Well, the 1 point must be going through the minds of both coaches.
Harris, this is the last, stabs it through, turns, Withers around, Withers fumbles it. Oh, he was facing his own line. He got away with it there.
Did the right thing. Put his body between the onrushing players and, well, his Withers. Did he take a knock?
Well, it was a heavy challenge. More injury news, here's Bill.
Well, it's not just about Michael Withers who's down there having treatment, because Paul Anderson has limped off, been replaced by Stuart Fielden. So while Fielden has recovered from the knock, Anderson seemed to have picked up an ankle injury. But Eddie was just thinking, Matthew Elliott said to me at half-time when they came out, one of the things he wanted from his side was to show a bit more imagination. Well, I don't think you could have got any more imaginative than that last Bradford try.
It was sensational, wasn't it? 24,000 inside Odsal tonight. The new Super League record crowd are being held spellbound, and I'm sure you are at home. This match has got a way to run yet. Big hit by Deacon. What a change the bringing on of Paul Deacon has been to the Bradford cause.
That'll be the changeover.
Morley did well then.
Did he ever? He really has worked hard.
Leeds aren't done though, don't worry about that.
It's just a basic principle. Really went for him to the big second row, Morley. And that's all it needs, is just simple basic rugby league football now. It doesn't matter how many points you win by, just get those 2 valuable points.
Will Leeds drive for the sticks, or has Justin Harris got something up his sleeve again? He plays the ball, Sheridan scampers in and goes down the short side. This is Cummins, they've done a good job on Cummins tonight. McAvoy and Price. Rivette at dummy half. He'd trade one of his 4 tries at Wembley for one here.
Now you see the Bradford Bulls, they are moving forward in defence. Just shows you how much confidence.
Drop goal from Harris. No. Yes, drop goal from Harris.
Looks wide.
Went wide, it did. Harris was looking at him and he implored. Yes, it was all right.
Good work from Deacon there. He shepherded him all the way through to the youngster Paul Deacon. And it was enough to put off that man. Look at Deacon, he was not going to give in. And it was sufficient. to make sure that it did not go over the black dot.
Just wide, but the intentions are obvious. They get within shooting distance. Leeds will have a potted goal for a one-pointer. I'm sure Bradford will do the same. Robbie Paul flicks the ball back. Peacock takes the tackle from Jackson.
Well, it's Leeds' turn now to dig deep.
Henry Paul spins. Ball. Dwyer
did well to take
going.
that.
Did he ever? This is McNamara again. Powell wrestles him to the deck.
Oh, he had a second shot at Powell. Bounce dodgy there for Dwyer.
That's Brian McDermott with the chip through.
He won't be doing that again.
He's missed Harris.
It was not the best effort from the big prop forward.
Cummins from dummy half, over halfway line.
See McNamara trying to turn Cummins on his back.
Oh, here's young Chev Walker. This lad is 16 years of age, and the other one, whose birthday is grand final night. What a moment for a baby of 16 to come into the Super League arena here. He's not afraid to pitch them in, is he? Graham Murray. Good run there from Sheridan. That's the last. They're within shooting distance again. Where's Harris? There he is. And he's chosen not to go for the 1 point.
Well, I can't believe that. I cannot believe it, neither can Graham Murray, that they elected for the power play. Why they did not... Oh, that's a knock-on.
Dropped it. Leeds have got it back. Maybe that's why. Harris might know what was coming. This is Hay. Andy Hay. Back it goes. It's a try from Walker. Chev Walker has come up with a try. Incredible for Chev Walker. Incredible for the Rhinos. What a substitution for Graham Murray to have made, and Matthew Elliott cannot believe it, that the 16-year-old has come up with maybe a match-clinching try. Well, remember the name. It's Chev Walker.
This is a woeful mistake from the experienced Bernard Dwyer, and from it, Harris through the dummy. Ball out wide. Andy Hay did so well. The upper strength there was not the best attempt from McAvoy in the end, and Chev Walker, I think it's his first touch of the football in front of a record Super League crowd. He puts it down as though he's been doing it all his life. Graham Murray, he dances a jig with delight, and why not? The times that this Graham Murray has brought on a substitute to turn the game around, it's phenomenal. What a match.
What a match, what a change. Chev Walker, 2 tries against Salford. They pale into insignificance, with all due respect to the one he's just scored here at Odsal. And now Harris to add 2 more points to Chev Walker's 4. He's kicked another as the Leeds skipper, and suddenly Leeds wrestle control of the game from the Bulls.
You can see the defence is caught there. 3 men, could not get one line. As soon as the ball went out wide, it needed a first-on tackle. It was not done by McAvoy. Well, he was a hero a few moments ago when he plucked the ball, but the hero now, 16 years of age.
And Chev Walker recently toured Australia with the Great Britain and Ireland schools team. Short kick-off from the Bulls, but it's gone back, and Brian McDermott has picked it up. The main thing is the Bulls have possession, albeit on halfway.
Good work there from Fielden. Set move. Now then, dig deep again. Seesawing game.
Super game. We saw Leeds at their best against Wigan last week. How's this for second helpings? What a match.
Dwyer desperate to make up for that mistake.
Deacon, lovely play from Deacon. Here's Mike Toner. He'll score now. Oh, this is a sensational night. Graham Murray was dancing a minute ago. He's back on his haunches now, and Matthew Elliott wants a word. Oh, Mike Toner comes up with a try. The kick to come to level it.
It was a wonderful run from Paul Deakin and a wonderful dummy. He delayed the pass to Vicona. Get it down right in front of the official, Steve Presley. What a talent, this kid. Forget about the old brigade. The youngsters are taking over now. Chev Walker. This is a reaction from the coach. Find your head, Matthew.
None. Oh, he suddenly sees second place slipping away. Not happy with his defence, I don't think, Graham Murray.
Well, they took the dummy from the youngster Paul Deakin.
Vicona, his 40th appearance for the Bulls here. And he marks it with the try. McNamara now. From bang in front to level things up again. What drama at this stadium we have seen tonight. All. Not long to go now. It's all square at Odsal. They've been treated to an absolute classic.
The youngster, Chev Walker, looked to have sealed the win for the Rhinos. And then up pops another youngster, Paul Deakin, to let this man, Vicona, in for a try.
Well, he knows his way to the try line, doesn't he? The Tongan international. Will Leeds now go for the short kick-off? We've got little more than 5... No, they've gone long. A little more than 5 minutes left for play. This game can still be won. Oh! What a hit by Morley on Fielden.
Oh, Fielden there. To be fair to the youngster, he just got off.
Well,
Get on with the game.
Don't forget, Steve-O, if there is a contentious drop goal for the first time ever, Greg McCallum's decision today is that Steve Presley and all referees from here on in can now hand it on to the video ref to make the call. The pressure mounts again if we get to the drop goal situation, and I rather fancy in the next 4.5 minutes we might.
Well, that's just common sense, and I'm glad that Greg McCallum... Cummins nearly dropped it forward. The kick and the chase wasn't all that brilliant, but they nearly came up trumps yet again. Oh, a dodgy pass from Paul Sterling. Now, are Leeds going to be happy just to take the 1 point?
No, not really. It wouldn't cement them in second place. They need the 2. I can hear them all the way from St Helens roaring the Bradford Bulls on. Jackson, he'll trundle it down the middle.
Oh, he's lost it.
Oh, got the ball away. And Bradford have it back. Deakin, inevitably.
But why on earth were they trying to offload in such a situation like that? Now then, Leeds, they've got to keep their arms down. They don't need it. It's a draw so far. Spill the possession. Oh, Harris could have been then for the flop. He just leaned right over the big fella.
Here goes Robbie Paul. They're working it towards the posts, looking maybe for the possible 1-pointer. Dwyer.
Here it comes. They'll go a bit earlier, perhaps.
Look for McNamara. There's McNamara. Now it's with Withers. Withers goes for it. Withers.
It's there.
Got it, I think.
It is there.
The 1-pointer is given to Michael Withers. 3 minutes, he says. 3 minutes to go. Have the Bulls snatched a victory from the jaws of defeat.
Superb play there by Withers. McNamara was going to take the first shot. He was put under pressure from Jackson, and Withers raises the arm. The arena goes berserk, and rightly so. It's a game he knew that he had full control, but the Bulls, they've dug deep, they've gone for the short one again.
Leon Price has dropped it back to Jackson. Here's Harris. This isn't over yet. This is not over yet. Harris, they're going for maybe the 1 point, but they need both the points for the win. Godden, Sterling. Oh, that could have been a Shepherd. No, play on. Straight up the middle goes Sterling. Oh!
What a night he's having. Dancing around.
Jackson, Sheridan wide to Harris. Further wide, and again, Rivette.
Oh, he did well there, and that is great defense.
Super defense.
Robbie Paul in there. They came across. McAvoy came to help too. That's tremendous work there by Robbie Paul. He knew that McAvoy had been sucked in. He came round on the blind side to ensure that the winger couldn't get there.
They're so close to victory, courtesy of Michael Withers' drop goal. And listen to this, it's Withers' first ever drop goal in his professional career. Michael Withers, what a moment to come up with your first ever one-pointer.
Up the jumper now. Oh! What are they doing?
Has somebody just trod on your toe?
I just couldn't believe that. Under your own sticks, he pops a basketball pass out.
1.5 minutes to go. The ball is with the Bulls. It's in their court. Leeds desperate for the possession. Remember, they needed the win to leapfrog Saints into second place. Graham Murray knows how important second place could be. Henry Paul has got all the experience in the world and is taking his time. The clock is winding down. Bicona is dropped by Godden. Time to bite your fingernails, Matthew. McNamara gets the kick away. It's not a good one. Harris, now then, 60 seconds to go. Sterling. They get 6 tackles, maybe. There's the first. Now, the last thing Bradford want is a penalty against them. There's Harris. Here's Sheridan. Sheridan running flat. Wide it goes to Walker. Back from him to Andy Hay. Hay then gets it away to Barry McDermott. Good hands. Godden, he gets away from Bicona. Godden gives it to Paul Sterling, who had to reach forward. That's the second tackle.
Deacon went close there.
Harris drops the shoulders. Offloads. This is Fleary. He loses it. No, he doesn't.
Went
he keeps it
backwards.
alive. Oh! Hay to Powell. That's the match. Young Chef Walker drops the ball. That's the match.
It's all over Rover. They had to keep the ball alive.
They knew it too, that's why they did.
Up the jumper, that's it! What a win! What a fight back!
What a fight back, and for the second time in Super League history, home record is preserved for the league leaders. 1996 it was St Helens, 1999 it's Bradford Bulls. In 1996, Saints won the title with a record like that. In 1999, the Bradford Bulls have got it all to do again. They've got to go to Old Trafford to lift the Super League crown. Michael Withers, with his first ever drop goal, has won this match for the Bulls in front of a Super League record crowd. Absolutely sensational entertainment. Fantastic stuff. What a night for Leon Price, who got them rolling with the try in the corner. Graham Murray must feel that the victory has been snatched away from him. They're number 1 in the table. There's a youngster who turned it round, Paul Deacon. Bradford end the weekly rounds unbeaten, unblemished, but not unmarked at Odsal, not after this battle royal tonight. A Super League record crowd has watched it. McAvoy, what a try from him. Withers, what a drop goal from him. And Matty Elliott's out there with his players as well. That's what this victory meant to the Bradford Bulls. The psychological blow of taking a victory over Leeds Rhinos into the playoffs. Wonderful, wonderful stuff at Oxford. 24,020, a Super League record crowd, and they are going to take that proudly with them into the playoffs, and I fancy that that will be smashed if Leeds come back here in the knockout stages. Matthew Elliott was desperate for the win. His players have produced it. He shakes hands with every one of them. So Bradford Bulls, they have not been beaten at Odsal now for over 12 months, and that one-pointer, the difference between two well-matched and magnificent sides. Well, there it is, the story on paper of an absolutely wonderful match. 19 points to 18, Withers with the drop goal. That was the difference between the two sides. Now then, who was the man of the match and the winner of the Tissot watch? Henry Paul, that's who, named by the Leeds coaching staff, and here he is talking to Bill.
Man of the match, Henry Paul, and there's the watch that goes with it. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Tissot, and all the sponsors. Cheers.
That was some match, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm exhausted. I really thought we were dead and buried, 10-0 down. Leeds are a great outfit. They know how to just shut you down. But true grit, 25,000 people we didn't want to let down. So there was a, there was a big cause to fight for there.
Just brief.
Well, that's the way the tables look. Bradford have increased the lead over St Helens, but the significant part of the result is that Leeds now must hope that Saints lose on Sunday at Wigan, and then they must hope that they can beat London and Saints are beaten by Bradford next week. This is the drop goal that won it, Steve-O.
Superb stuff. They put the pressure on McNamara. They knew he was going to go for the one-pointer. But the fullback, Michael Withers, first in Super League, first in his career. But what a night to do it in front of a record crowd. Absolutely fantastic. And full credit to him. At least Bradford dug deep in the second half.
You can hear your friends from Bradford outside asking you for the score, Steve-O, because they are convinced here that you are a rhino. Mind you, at Wigan they're convinced you're a saint. At St Helens they're convinced you're a warrior. Nothing changes.
I've never been called a saint before, I can assure you of that. But yeah, but it's great stuff, isn't it? I mean, look, the reaction for it. They were very, very quiet in that first half. Leeds took control, but they showed today, did the Bradford side, that they have the guts and determination to come back into it.
Well, Sean McRae will know what Matthew Elliott is feeling like now, because in 1996, Sean, as champions at St Helens, you went through the season with an unblemished home record. You know what he's going through now.
Oh, it's wonderful. And tonight is just a great way to say we've qualified #1 in the Premiership. We're going to have a week off in 2 weeks' time, and everyone has got to beat us. And that sort of form they showed, particularly in the second half, was sensational. They totally dominated that. They had a mountain of possession, and that eventually wore Leeds down. And I think that really in a cutthroat game, Bradford played a little bit better in the second half. As we said, they had to come out and do, and they showed why they're qualified #1. So they're going to take some beating in the playoffs.
Apart from maybe at Gateshead, Castleford, Warrington and St Helens, there would be no arguments, would there, if that was the grand final?
Absolutely not. I think that tonight is a great lead-in match, as I believe Sunday will be to the playoffs, as I believe next weekend's rounds will be as well, particularly the Bradford Saints game. That's going to give us another indication as to how the playoffs are going to go. And I think that it's just building up to a wonderful crescendo at the end at Old Trafford.
Indeed so, the road to Old Trafford continues. It has been one mighty road, hasn't it? And no mightier than we've seen here tonight. Fabulous stuff. And more to come, because in Australia the playoffs are underway already. Melbourne Storm take on the St George Illawarra Dragons in the morning at 10 AM on Sky Sports 1. We have a double header actually of Australian Rugby League this weekend. That is the match of the weekend down under, no doubt about that. The Sharks against the Broncos. The Broncos, last year's premiers, must win that to go on. Sunday 8:30 Sky Sports 1, and look what we've got for you was the last course. Wigan against Saints, Sunday 3:30 Sky Sports 1. Well, we will all catch our breath. We wish Sean all the best for Gateshead at the weekend. It's a pleasure to have him with us as always. Steve-O's going to buy me a drink now. Bye-bye.
Big hit from Anderson. Robbie Paul again. Angle run.